I've called this video commitment to your team. I feel as if this is about your spirit team, but also feel as if this is your almost your team here on the earth plane. This could be your friends, your family, your extended, it could be your work team. First of all, I feel as if they all interlink anyway, so I'll just speak and see what comes forward. So commitment to your team means, when the going gets tough, things get really tough in your life, you just don't give up. You just say, oh, hanging in the tail. You may, if it was like a job at work and things got really tough and it didn't resonate with you anymore, then that's a totally different thing. It may be time for you to move on to a different area of expertise or go and work for yourself. But commitment to your team is really being consistent, really turning up, showing up, regardless of whether the shit hits the fan, whether you're not, well, if you're not feeling good and it was work, you should really stay off. But just to really keep going, keep that continuity, keeping that consistency, setting boundaries, having when I started working with my spirit team, when I was always working with them, but when became really clear in 1988, could be quite horrendous at times. I would have them spirit just basically walking in, or the angels just walking in during my sleep time. I wouldn't get no sleep because it was constant talking and let them constantly bringing me messages, and it was almost as if at times you felt as if you were losing the plot because it was too much. So I learned to tell them this was my sleep time, this is my private time, and I would call them forward and I would work with them. So I was making that commitment. I was telling them that, yeah, I knew I was here. I knew I could hear them. I knew I could see them. I could feel them. I could sense them. And then they were making me frightened because they were coming forward at night time. And I would make a commitment to them I would sit down and I would meditate, and I would do my breath work, and I would bring them in. I would call them in, and I was bringing forward the angels because I wanted to. I feel that the angels bring in this natural ability, and I didn't feel frightened when they were there because I felt this connection with them. Although there's nothing frightening about connecting in with your spirit team, but it can feel frightening, especially if they're bringing forward information about things and events that are going to happen, and you feel quite scared about that. I do believe they bring forward this information to cushion the blow, so that when it does happen, it's not as heavy on you. It was like that when my grandmother passed. Me and her spoke about her passing, but when she did pass, I mean, I was grieving, but I was actually quite surprised how I wasn't grieving as much as everybody else. But then I spent a lot of time with my grandmother. I spent every week I was with her, and I would go and stay there with her, and I would spend quality time with her. So I had no regrets. There was no guilt. I think a lot of people, when they're grieving, they're really in guilt of things that they didn't do. If you've got that really good, strong bond, then it does seem to cushion the blow. Me and her spoke about when she would go. She knew when she was going, and that's when things started to shift and change in my life. But I made a commitment to my team. Like I would connect in with them, and to not to come at night because they were frightening me. They needed to step back. I used to have my mum just floating in and giving me information and stuff, and she'd be talking to me all the time, and it was quite disturbing. I had to ask them, please step back. So I closed down my energy centres, and I made it clear to them that this was my boundaries. I was going to be working with them. I made a commitment that I wasn't going to let them down. I knew this was my path, and it's not an easy path. I can tell you that it's not an easy path, because sometimes you pick up things about other people that you wish you didn't know, and I find it quite upsetting, but I have to detach from that as well. So it's like having this commitment, whoever it is in your life, that you're going to show up every day, to be with them, to support them, and then support you, and to move forward in your life regardless of what comes forward. So that can come in many different forms, and I suppose just now we're all making a commitment to do better in my life, to keep as healthy as possible. Well, I hope we are, and basically to listen to what's right for us at a heart and soul level. So I'll leave that with you. Thank you. Bye bye.